Everyone is talking about the latest chatbots and image generators, but honestly, they're kind of missing the real story. One of the biggest investing opportunities of our lifetime is being built right now, but it's all happening behind the scenes. So in this explainer, we're going to look past all that hype and find the hidden engine of the AI revolution, the infrastructure where the real money is actually being made.
Okay, let me ask you a simple question to get us started. Back in the great gold rushes of the 19th century, who do you think really got rich? Was it the thousands of prospectors who were all hoping to strike it lucky?
Well, the answer is it wasn't the miners. The people who made the real, lasting fortunes, they were the ones selling the picks, the shovels, the dynamite, even the jeans. They sold the essential tools. And this analogy, it just applies perfectly to today's AI gold rush. The smart money isn't just on the AI apps, it's on the tools that make them all possible. And that brings us to the core idea for today. The picks and shovels of the AI revolution. They aren't just tools, they're something even more powerful. They're called choke points. And if you understand them, you hold the key to seeing where the real value is being created. So what is a choke point? Well, think of it as a critical bottleneck in the system. It's that one spot where this massive, overwhelming demand for something essential, like computing power or energy or memory, crashes right into a very, very limited supply. These bottlenecks, they control the pace of the entire AI industry, and the companies that control them, well, they have incredible power. All right, let's jump into our first critical choke point. And honestly, this is one that could grind the entire AI industry to a halt: energy. AI is unbelievably power hungry, and that's creating a massive bottleneck that I think is still widely underestimated. And look, this isn't some fringe idea. The experts are all saying it loud and clear. Energy is a fundamental roadblock. You can have the best, smartest AI model in the world, but if you don't have the electricity to run it, it's just useless code sitting on a server. I mean, just think about it for a second. A single high-end AI server can use as much electricity as a dozen homes. Now multiply that by millions. You can see how this is putting an absolutely incredible strain on our power grids, creating a huge challenge, but also a massive opportunity for the companies that provide those power and cooling solutions. And this right here, this is what that opportunity looks like in financial terms. Take a look at Vertiv. It's a company that specializes in data center power and cooling. Its stock is up 150% in just 6 months. This isn't hype, it's the market rewarding a company that is solving one of these critical choke points. Okay, now for our second choke point. This one's a little more technical, but it is just as critical. We're moving from the power plug on the wall to the actual components inside the machine. Let's talk about something called the memory wall. This is the next big area of focus. After energy, the new bottleneck is forming around memory. This is where the industry is hitting its next huge constraint, and it's exactly where the next wave of opportunity is. So why is this all happening right now? Well, it's a pretty simple 3-step process. First, we're basically hitting the physical limits of how big we can make a single computer chip. So step 2, to get around that, companies like NVIDIA are coming up with these brilliant new designs, like their Blackwell platform, to pack way more power into the same space. But, and this is the crucial part, step 3, all that extra processing power creates an exponential demand for super fast memory just to keep the chip fed with data. And the software side is just pouring gasoline on this fire. The Achilles heel of today's big language models is context, their ability to remember what you've been talking about. As we move to more complex systems like AI agents, and eventually maybe artificial general intelligence, the need for memory to hold all that context is going to explode. We're talking 10, maybe even 100 times what we need today. Okay, so we've identified 2 massive choke points: energy and memory. This leads us right to a really powerful investment strategy. Don't just bet on the AI apps. Bet on owning the bottlenecks themselves. When it comes to the memory bottleneck, this brings up a really important question. Who actually makes the high-performance memory that all of these advanced AI systems are so desperate for? The answer is kind of stunning. The market concentration here is just incredible. Get this. Only 3 companies, Micron, SK Hynix, and Samsung, control 90% of the entire high-bandwidth memory market. They basically have an oligopoly on this absolutely critical component. And when you have demand that's going vertical, running into a supply chain controlled by just 3 players, you get a recipe for some truly explosive financial performance. Let's just look at the numbers. First up, we've got Micron Technology. As demand for their memory has just exploded, their stock has done the same. In the past year, it's up a staggering 340%. And it's not a one-off. Right behind them, SK Hynix is up 310%. This isn't some slow and steady trend. It is a dramatic, fast repricing based on their control of this memory choke point. But here's the most surprising part. This is what really gets me. Despite these monster gains, just look at their valuations. We're looking at the forward PE ratio, which is just a simple way of measuring how expensive a stock is. The broad market, the S&P 500, trades at a ratio of about 25. But Micron, it's trading at just 8. And Samsung and SK Hynix are even cheaper, down at 6. The market is still valuing them like they're these boring old tech companies, not like they're the essential gatekeepers of the entire AI revolution. And this dominance isn't going away anytime soon. Building the advanced factories you need to produce this kind of memory is incredibly complex. It's insanely expensive. The source material estimates it would take any new competitor 5 to 10 years minimum just to build the facilities to even try to compete. That is a massive, massive competitive moat.
So, let's bring this all together. The real takeaway from all this is simple. You need to shift your focus. Stop looking at the application and start looking at the engine that powers it. What you see on the surface are the apps, the chatbots, the image generators, and they're amazing, don't get me wrong, but they are just the tip of the iceberg. The real foundational value, the engine of this whole revolution, is being created in those choke points, in energy, in cooling, and especially in the high bandwidth memory that we've been talking about. So, as you watch this whole AI revolution unfold, this is the question you should be asking yourself. Are you getting distracted by the shiny new app on the surface? Or are you looking deeper at the powerful engine humming underneath it all, where the real value is being built?